New toys from DJI, live streaming 360 video, and a laptop that can handle VR? That's what I like. Hello again and welcome back to another episode of That's What I Like, the weekly series where I talk about things that I find on the internet, you guessed it, that I like. To start things off, Apple made some quiet non-announcements where basically they updated their MacBook and MacBook Air lines. The MacBook, the new teeny tiny 12-inch laptop they announced last year, got a refresh, newer, faster processors, better battery life, and you can now get it in rose gold. Okay, I will say I've seen several videos about the MacBook using it as a video editing platform and sounds really interesting. And total transparency, I've been editing a lot of my videos lately on a MacBook Pro and it has been an excellent experience. I just can't see shelling out that kind of money for something with one port on it. The 13-inch MacBook Air now only comes with a minimum of 8 gigs of RAM as well, which makes it a little bit more useful, but I actually kind of thought they were going to completely phase out the MacBook Air line. I know there are a lot of people that really like it, but with the new MacBook, I kind of figured that was going to replace MacBook Air moving forward. Oh well. DJI made some big announcements this week. One, they rolled out a bunch of new stuff for the Osmo. Bunches of new accessories. They've got a couple of new adapters you can use to attach the X5 RAW and X5 Pro to the Osmo handle. Very expensive stuff, but when you're talking about the X5 ZenMuse stuff, it's very expensive to begin with, so there's that. But they've also got a Z-axis stabilizer, so in addition to the 3-axis that you've already got, you've got up and down now as well. I saw somebody make something like that using a microphone mount, so it's very cool to see that DJI is actually jumping on the bandwagon with this. It's just $130 for that, whereas you can pay like $15 and get the microphone mount. I say because I've got, I think, something similar to it over there. I just don't really want to build it. But anyway, there are a bunch of other new accessories for the Osmo, including an AC adapter, even though it's not exactly AC. Let's call it external power adapter. It's a little battery brick that has an external cable that you can plug into a Phantom 3 or a Phantom 4 battery, depending on which adapter you've got. I ordered a bunch of these things from their website, and hopefully they'll be here in the next week or so, so look out for a video on that soon. They also rolled out a new drone, a Matrice M600 camera platform, really expensive thing. It looks like it's about $4,600 just for the drone body itself without any sort of gimbal. I think it's a hexcopter. To go along with that, they've got a new Ronin MX stabilizer, and when you put them together, they can carry much bigger, much heavier cameras like the Red Epic. Now at that point, you're talking about putting $60,000 to $80,000 worth of equipment up in the air at least, but if you want that shot and you want it to be crispy, perfect, beautiful, that's the way you do it. Moving right along, Exploding Kittens is like the biggest gaming thing that's ever hit Kickstarter, and now you can get it on Android. I actually have not picked it up myself because I think that it's only a multiplayer game and I ain't got no friends. But if you do want to pick it up, again, it's available on Android. But speaking of Android, moving on to the virtual reality side of things, because that's where I like to spend a lot of time. Nice segue. With the new Android N Developer Preview 2, some people have discovered that there are some things in the code relating to virtual reality. So it looks like with Android N, it's possible that Google's going to add in some support for native VR things inside of Android. As to what that will be, nobody really knows. But the preview itself contains references to VR Listener and VR Helper apps, and permissions related to doing things while you're in a virtual reality mode. So maybe there's even going to be a VR mode for Android built in. One way or the other, this VR thing is here to stay. And to go right along with that, YouTube is introducing 360-degree live video streaming, which comes hot on the heels of Facebook announcing basically the exact same thing last week. I'm still kind of curious what sort of things are going to be streamed live in 360. I can see maybe drone footage being live streamed in 360, flying around a city, flying around an exhibit or an event or something, and being able to just move your head around and see exactly what you want when you want to see it. That would be awesome. If you have any other suggestions or ideas for things to do live, let me know, because I really want to know what other people are going to use this for. And to go right along with that, Nokia is updating their Ozo camera. It now has the ability to broadcast live VR, although their site and the article and everything that I read don't mention specifics as to where they're actually broadcasting that live 360 VR stuff. It made it look like you could broadcast it live to a VR headset, but not necessarily broadcast it live to any sort of service. But they keep using the word broadcast, which makes it feel like sending it to Twitch or YouTube or somewhere. So I'll probably assume that if it doesn't already work with YouTube 360, it's probably going to very soon. And obviously Facebook, if you're willing to part with $60,000 to get the Nokia camera. So let's just keep moving. To go along with all the GoPro related VR stuff that they've been talking about in the last few weeks, GoPro has rolled out a VR app. And more importantly, in my opinion, they've unveiled the pricing for their VR rig. If you want the entire 6-camera system with the frame, it's $5,000. which doesn't really add up, because if I remember correctly, the 6 cameras alone were going to be about $3,000. $1,500 for the frame. I think the biggest difference there is with all of this stuff, if you buy the bundle, you get a bunch of software to go along with it. Like I said, the VR app and the platform and the Stitcher and everything. Whereas if you just bought the $1,500 frame and the camera separately, you're gonna have to come up with a way to stitch everything on your own. So maybe it's worth that extra $500. A company called Magic Leap has come out of the woodwork. It says here they're a secretive startup, so there you go. And they've created something that's sort of akin to Microsoft's HoloLens, but there's a video up on their YouTube channel showing what they're claiming is unedited, unrendered, unchanged, anything other than just superimposing the text at the bottom of the screen that says this has not been altered in any way. And they're looking around a desk and, oh look, there's graphs popping up here, and here's my calendar, and here's my email inbox, and holy crap, that's ridiculous. The biggest thing I'm going to say about all of this, HoloLens, Magic Leap, whatever else comes out of it, if you don't make it small enough, light enough, with good enough battery, it's not going to get adopted. But we're still looking at multiple years down the road before this becomes a household item. I still want one. Gimme. And you know what? To go ahead and wrap things up, because I need to keep this kind of short, sweet, and to the point. I've got family coming in here very soon. Acer is rolling out a laptop. It's a Predator 17X laptop. It's going to be a lot of money. It's like $2,800 for this laptop, but it comes with a desktop class GTX 980 GPU inside of it, which with all of the rest of the stuff about it makes it capable of working with all these VR headsets that are coming out. So while you're looking at paying around $3,000 for the laptop, it's something you can pick up and take with you when you take your Oculus or your Vive or your whatever else you end up with down the road, and it will still work with it and all of the games that you work with. I cannot honestly say that I would do that myself, but if you are a hardcore gamer and you're a mobile gamer, meaning you want to pick up and go to events and things, this is definitely going to be a great fit for you. 17-inch laptop, that ain't for me. You stick that stuff in a 13 to 15-inch body and make it really thin, I'll be good. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for supporting the series. I've definitely enjoyed being able to do this every week. Remember to leave a thumbs up down below if you like this, subscribe to receive more videos later, and we will see you again next time.